This Saturday night, Orange County International Raceway and Coors present 64 Funny Cars, America's favorite drag racing event. Three-time world champ Raymond Beadle in the Blue Mac.
Four-time world champ and my favorite, Don the Snake Prudhomme and his sexy Pepsi Challenger.
Billy Meyer's new 7-Eleven Chief Auto Firebird.
Oh, and that handsome Kenny Bernstein and his Budweiser King.
The Hawaiian John Force.
Cute little Trip Shoemaker and that darling Craig Epperly.
And Jim Dunn, Alaska's Jim Moore, Mighty Mike Dencham. 64 Funny Cars presented by Coors Beer this Saturday night.
Gates open at noon, ground pounding starts at 7.
The four-time world champion, Don Prudhomme, we mentioned earlier, really struggled this year until all of a sudden he stepped up here to qualify number one at a 574.
Don Prudhomme at the wheel of the Pepsi Challenger. Approaching those light beams, stretching across the racetrack, and look at Al Segrini with a hole shot.
Al Segrini, and suddenly Al Segrini has problems. The motor lets go, and Don Prudhomme, who was about to throw in the towel. And coming to life, the engine of the number one qualifier, Don the Snake Prudhomme. The only man to ever win 4 Funny Car World titles. He qualified number one at a 574. Prudhomme told me earlier, Dave, that he just took all his fuel systems, all his combinations, put them in a bag, shook them up, poured one out, and it was either going to blow or go. It went.
It went good at a 574. But now the question is his longtime nemesis, and if you've been following the sport of drag racing for the past 2 decades, the name of the man in the far lane, Tom the Mongoose McEwen, brings back
that legend, Don Prudhomme. Tom McEwen. McEwen is away first, but smokes the tires. McEwen used the snake up on a starting line, but didn't have the clutch and tire combination. It is Prudhomme at 580, 245 miles an hour.
Round one. Trip Shoemaker had problems right at the start, losing control of his machine, and it looked like Prudhomme was smoothly to another victory, but then the car exploded, burst into flames. Finally, the fiberglass body ripped off the top, and Prudhomme slid to a stop. He immediately started to unbuckle and climb out of his battered, burnt, and broken race car. The fire crews were there to put out the fire, to assist Prudhomme. Imagine the incredible heat that was transmitted to Prudhomme in that accident. They sprayed him to cool him down, but he was okay.
I think just one word describes that one: terrifying.
Yeah, it's probably about the worst one I ever had in my 20 years in racing. I'll tell you, it definitely caught my attention.
It blew late, right in the lights, or maybe even past him. The parachute went right away. Did you have any idea where you were before you came to a stop?
Not really, Steve. I knew I was still somewhere on the course because, obviously I hadn't hit anything up till that point. That's the only thing I was concerned about. I know it looked terrifying and everything, and it was bad from where I was sitting, that's for sure, but the safety of these cars are tremendous, and that's I have to give a lot of credit to NHRA and their safety committee that make us run different parts and pieces of equipment on the car to make them safe like they are today. And to walk away from something like that is spectacular.
This Friday and Saturday night, the Professional Dragster Association presents the 9th annual PDA Championship at Orange County International Raceway. The P stands for professional, and the pros respectively request door slammers stay home. There's just no room for stalkers when over 200 drivers are trying to make a 240-mile-per-hour living. Top fuelers, more than you've ever seen in one place. Funny cars, pro stocks, pro comps, the pros, and only the pros. Qualifying Saturday, the ground begins to quake at 9 a.m. The only 32-car fuel show you'll see this year kicks off racing at 6 p.m. OCIR this Friday and Saturday night.